Welcome, beautiful people, to our class. Today we are doing a shoulder mobility class. So I have got a ball, but if you don't have a ball, you could use a towel wrapped up, like in a little twirly stick, in a little circle, and just pop it between your shoulder blades along the spine. But if you have got a ball, you can lie on this, so it's going to be in the upper back. And I will probably use a block under my head. Not everybody needs a block under the head. It just depends on how your neck feels. So shall we get started? So like I said, so if you're going to have a towel, it's just going to be in the back there. You could take a pillow or cushion or something like this. It just helps to open up the chest area. And then, like I said, I will have a block under my head, but not everybody needs one. It's just I've got a really long neck and it's not always a happy neck. So you can have your knees bent, or if you prefer, you can have them straight. You'll get more out of it if they're straight, but I'm not really focusing on the hips, so do whatever feels better for you to be in this position with. So hopefully, if you have got a towel or a cushion or something like that, you can feel that your chest is sticking out and the shoulders are a bit more open, your collarbones are a bit longer. So it's a bit of a passive way to open up the chest. So from here, take your hands up to the ceiling, palms facing in. And now nice and easy, just reach your arms to the wall behind you. And they may or may not touch the floor, it doesn't matter. And then bring your arms down to the side, into the hips, and then back up again. So just for the first one, just taking it nice and gently, don't overthink it. And I want you to really pay attention to how these feel in your body. So when I take my arms over the top, the left arm, I can feel there's a lot of pulling sensations going on. So I'm not particularly going to force my arms to go any further. I'm just going to find that point where it is uncomfortable, and then I'm going to stop there and bring it around. And then what you also want to notice are both your arms traveling at the same speed. Are they in the same alignment? So sometimes you might have one arm close to the ear, and the other one is like a Y. All these things are telling you something about your body. Either it's awareness, you don't know that you're doing it, or perhaps there's something going on with the shoulder. So as you start to warm up and the shoulders start to warm up, maybe you can make the movement a little bigger. But remember, no pain. Uncomfortable, yes, but no pain. And now focus on your shoulder blades. So as the arms come up, can you send your shoulder blades down the back? Feel them circling over the cushion. So taking the arms up. Like I said, if they do touch the floor, great. If they don't, it doesn't matter. Don't force it. Good. We're just going to do one more. Oh, these are lovely. I love Pilates. Just as well I'm a teacher. And then bring the arms back again. Good. So if you want to give yourself a cuddle, you can. We'll come off of the ball now. I'm just going to put it down that end. So we're actually going to do an exercise called chicken wings. And we're going to do this lying on the back. And we're going to experiment what it's like with the block and what it's like without a block. And maybe find out why it feels a bit different. So I'm actually going to start with no block under the head. Now, if you naturally have round shoulders, like kyphosis, then yes, you'll probably want to keep a block under your head. But if there's no alignment issues, then take the block away. So this mat is a little bit higher than, like a yoga mat. So it's going to actually be a little bit more challenging for me. So in this position, I just want you to put your arms like a cactus. So have the elbows in line with the shoulders and have your wrists in line with the elbows, just to start with. Chin slightly tucked down. And all I want you to do is notice, do the wrists touch the floor? So like I said, because I've got further to go, because this mat is a little higher, I've got to work harder at this. So do your wrists touch the floor? Do your elbows touch the floor? And do the back of your arms touch the floor? Do your fingers touch the floor? And notice on both sides of the body. So you might find one side does and one side doesn't. Now, if you find that you're almost forcing one hand to the floor, I'm going to exaggerate it. So imagine my right hand there. I'm going to try and force it. Be aware that the movement isn't coming from your lower back. So now what I want you to do is actually send your lower back down and touch the floor with your lower back. Okay, so just hugging that tummy. So you might find now it's a little bit more restrictive. Now bring your elbows lower towards your hips, still trying to keep those hands and wrists on the floor. So be aware that the wrists don't curl into that kind of position. We want to keep them nice and straight. So from here, keep your back touching the floor. Take a breath in. Now, as you breathe out, keep the back down. Slide your fingers, your wrists, your elbows, your arms towards the floor behind you. So again, I've got a mat that gets stuck in the way. So maybe you get to the point and they don't stay on the floor. Don't force it, just observe it. And then bring it back down again. So as long as you are trying, like you can see now my hand's coming up, although I'm trying to stay on the mat here. So when you take your hands up, perhaps there's a part where your hands have to come quite high in order for you to do the movement. That is fine as long as you are trying to increase that range that you can do it in, okay? You just don't want to be doing your arms like this and you're not really doing anything. So when you try and do things, even if you don't succeed at lifting a leg or doing whatever, it still innervates the muscles in your body. It still has a connection there, so better to try than not. Take the elbows down to the hips, keep your lower back down, take it back up again. So how does it feel on your neck, this one? When you take your arms high, how does it feel in the armpits? How does it feel across the chest? How does it feel in terms of spine alignment? And how does it feel left and right? And then once your elbows come back down to the side, they always look easy, but they are quite hard. You're going to take your block and pop a block or a cushion under your head and just have it portrait style. So you can see now my head is a little bit more lifted. Now, can you get your hands to the floor? So you can see my hand, especially this right hand, it's popping up a little bit. So remember, we don't want to force it, especially with the shoulder. There will be a difference for the majority of you, so don't be surprised. Don't get upset by it. There's a reason I'm doing this. So take your elbows down so you can see my hands are coming up. Completely normal to have these differences. Now I'm going to try and take it. So now the head is kind of jutting forward a little bit because the block is there. So actually, this particular version, where the head is on the block, is much better if you want to improve the range of motion within your shoulder joint. So like my range of motion is not always the best because for years and years and years I did Pilates, and some schools teach you always keep your elbows in your peripheral vision, and I did everything with my elbows in my peripheral vision, and over time I reduced the range of motion in the shoulder. Okay, so when you put a block under the head, this is just one way that you can increase that. But remember, we're not after any pain. Make sure your lower back is down. So hugging in that belly. So chicken wings. And you can see when my hands come, look how high the hands come off the floor. Because if I try and put my hands down on the floor, I can feel the back is lifting and I'm trying to keep my back down. And then take it up. Chin's tucked in. Reach the arms. Now, even in this position, everything wants to be on the floor. I can feel the left arm is slightly lifted. Slide it, slide it, slide it, slide it. Good. Oh, yes. And then relax. Oh. So roll onto your side, pop yourself up. Just come into a seated position. So, oh, I can feel that so intensely in the shoulders. So like I said, so a block if you want to improve the range of motion within the shoulder, but if maybe you hypermobile or you've got fantastic range already, then you might not need a block. So adding equipment can change exercises slightly. Neither are better, they're just different depending on what the purpose, depending on why you want to do that exercise. So enjoy your nice loose shoulders for the rest of the day, and I'll see you in another video soon. Take care, bye.